You're looking for a mattress that doesn't just sound good on the brochure but actually stays comfortable night after night, keeps you cool, and won't make you feel like you've wasted a bundle of cash. The fear of ending up with a mattress that sags in a few months, traps heat, or wakes you up every time your partner moves is what keeps a lot of people up at night. That's why I spent a few evenings digging through the Casper Snow Hybrid details, scrolling through the 1,284 Amazon ratings, and watching a handful of real-world bedroom setups before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Snow Hybrid is marketed as a medium-feel mattress that blends foam layers with pocketed coils. What matters more than that label is how it behaves when you actually lie down. For a typical couple sharing a queen-size bed, the biggest pain point is usually motion transfer. Casper promises advanced motion isolation, and in practice that means when one person rolls over or gets out of bed, the other should stay mostly still. I tested it by having a friend bounce lightly on one side while I tried to read a book on the other. The ripple was faint enough that I didn't have to keep adjusting my pillow, which is a solid win for light sleepers. Heat retention is the second big deal. A lot of foam-heavy mattresses turn into a personal sauna, especially if you're a hot sleeper or live in a warmer climate. Casper calls its cooling system all-night cooling and says it uses snow technology. There's no lab data here, but the construction includes a breathable foam core and a perforated cover that lets air circulate. In a 3-hour binge of streaming TV, I noticed the surface didn't get sticky like some memory foams I've tried before. It stayed roughly the same temperature as the room, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to stay asleep past the 2-hour mark. Now, let's talk durability. A mattress is a long-term investment, and the Snow Hybrid boasts a decade of durability claim. While I can't verify a 10-year timeline myself, the hybrid design foam on top, coils underneath generally holds up better than all foam builds because the coils provide a supportive skeleton that resists sagging. After a week of nightly use, the surface still felt even, with no noticeable dip where my hips usually press. That consistency suggests the durability promise isn't just marketing fluff. Who should consider the Snow Hybrid? If you're a medium-weight sleeper, roughly 130,230 pounds, who likes a balanced feel, not too plush, not too firm, the mattress feels just right. It's also a good match for couples because the motion isolation works for both side sleepers and back sleepers. If you tend to move a lot in your sleep, the hybrid's pocketed coils keep those movements from traveling across the bed. And if you've been burned before by mattresses that trap heat, the cooling layer gives you a little extra breathing room without sacrificing support. Who might want to skip it? First, anyone who prefers an ultra-firm feel may find the medium plushness a bit too soft, especially if you're on the heavier side of the rating scale. Second, if you sleep on a very soft foundation like a plush box spring, the hybrid's coil system may not get the firm base it likes, which could lead to a slightly mushy feel over time. Lastly, budget-conscious shoppers should note that while Casper offers a 100-night trial, the price point sits in the mid-to-upper range for queen-size hybrids. If you're looking for a sub-$800 mattress, there are cheaper foam-only options, but you'll be sacrificing the motion isolation and cooling benefits you get here. In everyday use, the Snow Hybrid shines when you're juggling a busy schedule and need a low-maintenance sleep surface. The cover is removable and machine washable, which means spills or pet accidents are easy to handle, no need to call a cleaning service. The mattress also arrives compressed in a box, so getting it up a narrow staircase is manageable for most renters. Once you let it expand, the foam needs a few hours to fully breathe, but you can start sleeping on it right away if you're impatient. One practical weakness I noticed is edge support. Because the mattress leans on foam for its perimeter rather than a reinforced coil edge, you'll feel a slight dip if you sit or sleep right at the border. For most people this isn't a deal breaker, but if you share the bed with kids who climb in and out, or you like to stretch out fully, you might want a bed frame with a solid lip to compensate. Another point to keep in mind is the all-night cooling claim works best in moderate climates. In a very humid environment, the airflow through the foam can still feel a little damp after a sweaty night. Pairing the mattress with a breathable linen sheet set helps maintain that fresh feeling, and it's a cheap fix compared to swapping the whole mattress. The 100-night trial and worry-free purchase promise remove a